P3 is the portion of the path up to this vertex, P4 is the portion of the path after this vertex. So then we're going to take this cycle and stick it between P3 and P4. So I'm going to call this as C2. So P3 followed by C2 followed by P4. So we have again extended our marked path, and this time our new marked path ends up covering all the edges, and so we know that we are done. Why? Because if we go back along, how do we know that we are done? Because we go back along our marked path and we see that every vertex has been completely exhausted. So what we now have is an Eulerian cycle. Do you see this proof? Any questions about this proof? Okay. So what we have proved now is that if every vertex in the graph has an even degree, then we can always construct an Eulerian cycle. There will exist an Eulerian cycle in that graph. And this was the method that we used to construct that Eulerian cycle. We repeatedly we start off tracing a random path, which is going to be a cycle because we're going to get trapped when we come back to the starting vertex. We subtract that cycle from the graph, and in the resulting graph we start from some vertex which was incompletely exhausted. We trace another cycle and then stick that cycle into our original marked path to get a new marked path, and then again keep on iterating until you cover all the edges. Okay, so we've proved this. Now let's turn to the second case. What if the number of vertices with an odd degree is 2? Can we use this fact, which we just proved, that there must be an Eulerian cycle in the in this graph where every vertex has an even degree? Can we use that fact to argue that there must be an Eulerian path in this graph which has only exactly 2 vertices with an odd degree? Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't exactly follow. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. But then in the when you remove that edge which is responsible for the, you okay, this is the first. Okay, sorry. Where do you want the second triangle? Okay. Like this? Okay. Okay, so this vertex has a degree 3 and this vertex also has a degree 3. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start like this. We'll trace an Eulerian cycle and then walk across this edge and then trace another Eulerian cycle. But what if what if there is no edge directly between the two vertices which have an odd degree? In that case, so mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Another way to say it is, let's say there are two vertices with, let me create a new page here. So let's say these were the two vertices with an odd degree in the graph. Another way to do this is a very similar way. You just connect these two vertices with an artificial edge. When you do that, the degree of every vertex will be even, because the degree of this vertex has gone up by 1, the degree of this vertex has gone up by 1 because of this edge. And because these were the two vertices with an odd degree, in this modified graph, every vertex has an even degree, and so there must be an Eulerian cycle in this graph by the previous proof. So let's say this was the cycle. What we do is we look at that cycle and we just remove this artificial edge from it. When we remove this artificial edge, we'll be left with a path from this vertex to this vertex from the other side, which is going to traverse every other edge in the graph. Every edge in the graph actually. This edge actually was just an artificial edge which we just deleted. Right, so the proof is simple if it just directly follows from what we just proved. But in this case it's not going to be a cycle, it's going to be a path, it's going to be an Eulerian path. And you know, by convention, an Eulerian graph, for some reason an Eulerian graph is a graph where there is an Eulerian cycle in it. It's a graph in which there exists an Eulerian cycle. So when is a graph Eulerian? A graph is Eulerian when every vertex has an even degree. When does a graph have an Eulerian path? It has an Eulerian path when the number of vertices with an odd degree is either 0 or 2. If it's 0, then the path is actually going to be a cycle. If it's 2, then it's going to be just a normal path. And if the number of vertices with an odd degree is more than 2, if it's 4, 6 and so on, then there does not exist an Eulerian path, as we saw at the beginning. Okay, so is this so this was Euler's proof. He actually didn't fully prove this fact that if there exists, he proved this, that if the number of if the number of vertices with an odd degree is 4 or more, he proved that there cannot exist an Eulerian. Let me actually show you his own words. This is what he wrote in his 1736 paper. These are 3 sentences from it. If there are more than 2 areas to which an odd number of bridges lead. Okay, so as you can see, he didn't use the word vertices. An area here is just a vertex. So if there are more than 2 vertices to which an odd number of bridges lead, another way to say it is with an odd degree. Right? If there are more than 2 vertices with an odd degree, then such a journey is impossible, right? So no Eulerian path. If however the number of bridges is odd for exactly 2 areas, okay, so if there are exactly 2 vertices with an odd degree, then the journey is possible if it starts in either of these 2 vertices. Okay, it's going to start from one of them and end at the other vertex. And the third case, if finally there are no areas to which an odd number of bridges lead, in other words, there is no vertex with an odd degree, in other words, every vertex has an even degree, then the required journey can be accomplished starting from any area. Okay, we can start from any vertex and we will end our cycle there. So this effectively proves the first theorem of, so you can treat this as the first theorem from graph theory. You know, this is a theorem about the existence of an Eulerian path. Now actually, if you are familiar with, you know, basic algorithms, there's a very simple way to find out whether or not there exists an Eulerian path in a graph. Because let's say the number of edges in the graph is e. You can come up with e factorial permutations, right? You can come up with all possible